welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Light Leaked. This week on Light Leak, we'll talk about a new camera that we've gotten into this in the studio. No, it's not the Pyxis. I think what this is something that will challenge all of you that would like to get a Pyxis and make you think, hopefully, about this camera instead of the Pyxis as a choice. I know that the Pyxis at the minute is all the hype and people are loving the Pyxis. They're comparing it to an Airy. I don't know why they have not compared the full frame L mount to an Airy before. Yes, the style of the body is a bit different. Yes, it's a bit more, you can attach more things and it's more attachment friendly. You can make it work more for you, I guess. Yes, that is absolutely true. But when it comes down to the image sensor is absolutely the same as the full frame L mount version of the Blackmagic cinema camera full frame, 6K full frame. So there's no difference there, absolutely no difference there. I've used both. I have files from both side by side. There is zero difference. There's no difference. I'm honest, and I think you should have a look at Cam Mackey's comparison. He's also extremely honest with his review, and he will say exactly the same thing that I'm saying. There is no difference between the L mount full frame and the Pyxis, the new Pyxis. Thank God for that name, because that saying, Blackmagic Pocket Cinema 4K and Pocket whatever, it was just too much. Thank God it's got a name now, and we can just call it the Pyxis now. Anyways, my rant is over. Why I didn't get the Blackmagic Cinema Camera full frame? There you go, the Blackmagic Cinema Camera full frame L mount version. Why didn't I not get that or the Pyxis? Here it comes. So as you guys can see, time has passed. We are now 3 months forward. The fluff is gone, but still, yes. The camera, the 12K 3 months of use, and I can absolutely adamantly say that this is maybe not the best camera that I've ever used, because I've used some Aries, but this is the best camera that I own. I don't know if I'll ever own an Arri. It's just financially a bit too much, I think, for what I do at the minute. Maybe in the future, if you know, if I get more clients and stuff like that, maybe I'll you know, I'll update that camera and you know, go higher in terms of low light performance, because this is where the camera struggles. You need to work extra hard, as you saw, and I predominantly made it on purpose that almost all the shots that I've showed you were low light. And from that moment on, that was 2 months ago, I started working on set with this camera, and obviously on set it's a whole nother story, because on set you have control. Like here, this is a studio environment. I have set up lights. I have lights, blue lights here to mimic this blue light. There's a light on top of there. Oh, you're just coming through the frame, I think, which is, you know, tricking your eye to thinking that it's coming from there. And I've got another sort of source there to trick with the fire. But anyways, yeah, studio environments, this is where this camera shines. The 12K, do I use it? I've only recorded 12K in specific moments where I knew that I would need to crop in. Okay, I mean, even 8K, even at 8K, if you crop in at 8K, the camera's resolution is so high. You have such great sharpness and such great detail using the 12K and the 8K does help when recropping. Otherwise, the camera sits at 4K, because at 4K, it's not like any other camera or any other Blackmagic camera where if you crop in, you actually crop in on the sensor. It does something special when it actually uses the whole sensor, which is a 1.3 crop of a full frame. So, you know, it's 30% of the it's missing 30% of the full frame. But anyways, that's what it does, 1/3. Another thing that we need to talk about is the absolute amazing sensor readout with what this camera can do. I'm pretty sure that everybody has listened to this a million times. This is not a new camera, so it's been out for quite some time. I just wanted to pop it in there because coming from a Lumix S52X, if you've watched the channel, from any Lumix cameras, from all the Pocket 6K cameras that I've used, the readout speeds are not terrible. There is a DaVinci Resolve button that you press on the Lumix, on the Blackmagic cameras, where it actually crops in on the image a little bit and it shifts the image resolve a bit, you know, instead of having wonky trees because the readout speed is so low, it just sort of corrects it a tiny bit. That is all cool. It does that for the Blackmagic 6K Pro and the Pocket 4K. Yes, it does that. But what it doesn't do is it doesn't give you that instant. It doesn't give you an instant readout speed. That's basically it. I mean, when you pick up the camera and you immediately notice that there's something fluid, the fluidity of the shot is just something that is great, and it is noticeable, extremely noticeable. If you know, it's like going from a high frame rate monitor, from a 60 frame per second monitor to a gaming monitor where it's like there's zero lag, almost. Obviously, at 4K, it's 8 seconds. It's 8 milliseconds. Sorry, 8 milliseconds readout. That's amazing. That's global shutter territory. So, you know, maybe not, but it is very high. And you do notice it. Yes, you do notice it. The Pyxis, guys, I'm really sorry, but the Pyxis is not something which would be on my radar, unfortunately. I mean, we've been crying out, the Blackmagic community has been crying out for a box style camera, and hey, oh, I mean, you've got the pocket sized, well, not the pocket sized, but the square box shaped body camera that you always wanted right here. I mean, 12K, it's always been there. It's, you know, 12K and the Ursa Mini Pro, which is essentially a 6K sensor, you know, downsampling to 4K. But anyways, yes, there has been a camera which is a box style cinema type camera for your use. But you know, we've been all hyping about the 6K, the Pyxis 6K, and yeah, I mean, I've tried it out. I went to a shop in London. I tried it out. It still feels like a pocket 6K. I mean, yes, there's more to it. The frame is better. I've checked the sample files. It is essentially a 6K Pro. I mean, I don't see much point in purchasing that camera unless you have a specific workflow that requires you to use the more smaller size of a camera. I mean, this is heavier and it's a little bit larger, but once you slap a plate on it and a top handle, you start rigging it out. It's, you know, it's a cinema camera, so obviously it will get hefty, will get big, but I just don't understand the Pyxis being something for me when there's a 12K and a Ursa Mini Pro on the market. So I'm guessing this is sort of a hype camera. So basically that's all I wanted to say about the Pyxis. Yeah, it's just a L mount 6K Pro. Just, you know, wider field of view, and the lenses are a bit better. Lenses choice is a bit better because of the L mount. But again, it's not something like the readout speeds, the frame rates that you can have. The color science is the same, I guess. There's not much difference in it. But yeah, I don't see much point of people hyping this camera out when a jewel like this, I'll call it a jewel because this is in the money that this camera costs and what it can do. I think that people are skipping a big portion of what they can do and what they can get for a camera like this. So 2024 and 2025 now, because we are I'm actually hours away. I'm recording this on the 31st of December 2024. We're hours away from being January 2025. So I would say yes, 2025 deserves the 12K, and I think you should look into the 12K because of what it can do. Yeah, so this is sort of a thank you for the year. I have gotten 80 something plus subscribers, which is great. I have companies now that are picking up on me and they're trying to give me products to review, which is amazing. I would never have thought that this would have happened. I wouldn't say quickly, because the channel has been live for 3 years, but it's been inactive for 2, and it's only this year that I've started sort of making a little bit more effort into creating videos for YouTube. So thank you. Yes, I do want to thank you guys. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking the content. If I continue growing as I'm growing now, I think it'll be a clear sort of road towards 1,000 subscribers, and then 10,000 and 100,000 and so on. So yeah, all I can do is thank you for this year, and I shall see you guys in the next year. Happy New Year. Oh, and buy this camera, the 12K. Don't overlook it. Don't overlook it. This is the best camera I've ever used. Owned, not used, owned. See ya.